Hi, it's Michael once again, and today I've got another recipe from the Bags of Taste people. Today's recipe is chickpea and mushroom pilaf. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start the recipe. I've already done some prep. You need some onions. The ingredients are onions, you've got your ginger, oregano, mushrooms, chickpeas, some stock, some garlic cloves and some oil. So basically I'm going to start with the onions. I've cut the onion. This is one onion, by the way. It's quite a large onion. I've cut it up and I'm going to fry it over a not too hot heat. According to this, it says thinly slice the onions, fry the onions gently in oil until soft and light, medium brown. This will take at least 10 minutes. So basically, while I'm doing that, I'm going to prep the ginger. Cut. I'm finally chopping it, but I'm going to actually take the skin off the ginger. You can, and I actually normally use, when I cook and I use ginger, I normally use actually ginger spice, which is one of these. I've got loads of spices. Yeah, I've got loads of spices up here. So this is probably, where is it? God, I've got so many spices. Fennel seeds, cayenne pepper, hot paprika, ground mixed spice, ground nutmeg, ground cinnamon. Look, it's always the last one, ground ginger. So when I cook, I normally, if I need to use ginger, I generally use ground ginger, but you can use fresh ginger. And I just remembered, I've actually got, look, let me show you something. This is my freezer, what I've taken out of the freezer. Look, crushed ginger. So basically, I could have just taken out one of these, stuck it in a dish to defrost, but I've got fresh ginger, so I'm gonna chop that up thinly while the onions is actually frying. What is it they call it? They say, it's spaghetti or pasta al dente, I think it is. Soft. I think that's something like soft to the touch or whatever. Somebody tell me what al dente means. I mean, if you got Google, you should be able to find out what it means. But I know it's something. They say when you cook pasta al dente, but this is chopped ginger and it's not al dente, whatever that means. Anyway, I've removed the skin and I'm going to chop it up a la, what's that guy who does the Kitchen Nightmares, Gordon Ramsay, yeah, a la Gordon Ramsay, the Nigerian Gordon Ramsay, by the way. Don't you chop like that, don't you cut like that, that's what he says, and he's always swearing, by the way, but not me, I'm too polite for that. God, this is a lot. It's got here, the recipe says that you should do 1.5 teaspoons of ginger root. Boy, that is I hope I'm not gonna put too much ginger in it. 1.5 teaspoons. Yeah, 1.5. Well, teaspoon is quite small. Anyway, I'm gonna chop it. As you can see, I'm not a chef. I'm just someone who is learning to cook and learning to cook a meal for less than £1. Can you believe it? You have a healthy, nutritious meal for less than £1. Oh, by the way, part of the menu was you're supposed to wash the rice, which I've already done before I started this video, and soak the rice for 30 minutes. So this rice has been soaking for about, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes or so. Let me just go and have a look at my clock and see what it says. Yeah, it's been, God blimey, it's been soaking for like 22 minutes already. So this here is my teaspoonful, 1.5 teaspoonfuls of chopped ginger. So that's 1, and that's half. Well, yeah. So I've got all this left. I think what I'll do is I will chop it up still and use it on another recipe. As you can see from what I took out of the freezer, you can actually freeze ginger. So why waste it? Why let it go to waste when I can chop it up and stick it in the freezer? And when I need to use it next time, take it out of the freezer and, as they say, Bob's your uncle. Or who's your auntie? What begin? Barbara. Barbara's your auntie. Bob's your uncle and Barbara's your auntie. Alright. So I've chopped this one up, and this one I'm going to stick in the freezer to use another day, but I'll put it aside. Okay, now the onions have been frying for a little bit. Why is it that when I cook, half of it ends up on the floor? Look at that. Anyway, here we go. So, fry your onions for 10 minutes. I've probably got about another 5 minutes of frying onions to do. And once the onions is fried, anyway, I'm going to fry the onions and I'll keep frying them, and I will come back to you. I know you don't want to wait, and just watch me while I'm frying my onions. So, as usual, get yourself a cup of tea, put your feet up, have some nice biscuits. How about, last time you had digestives, how about you have chocolate bourbons? Cup of tea with some chocolate bourbons. That will go down nicely. Now, if you don't want PG tips, you could try one of these fancy pantsy tea bags. This one is from a company called Dalgety. This one is sorrel, hibiscus and ginger. It's really nice actually. I like this one. This one is strong turmeric and ginger. It seems like everything they got has got ginger in it. Anyway, turmeric is supposed to be good for your joints. They're really nice cups of tea. So, make yourself a cup of tea. And I'll be back once these onions have done. Okay, I'm back. Now it's time to add, the mushrooms are done by the way, 10 minutes. Time to add, did I say the mushrooms are done? Slip. It's the onions are done. Time to add the mushrooms. So I've got tinned mushrooms. I'm going to drain them. Gosh. Pour them in the frying pan. Remember, recycle. Wash and recycle. Oh man. It must be the ginger that's making me cough. I'm going to bung in the stock cube, crumble in the stock cube. Stick in the chickpeas. Actually, this recipe, you should actually fry the mushrooms before you put in the stock cubes. But hey, every famous chef has done something, cooked something, messed up the recipe, and it's probably come out, funny. But even though this might come out funny, I reckon it's still going to taste delicious. So, while I'm frying, gosh, this ginger's got my throat. Yeah. So, while I'm frying my mushrooms, is my voice gone up high? I'm going to take up my chickpeas and I'm going to drain them. Tinned chickpeas, what is it? It's, well, this is normally, what is this? How many grams is this? 400 grams, okay. 400 grams of chickpeas. Bung it in. Add the ginger. Also, garlic, chopped garlic. I'm actually going to chop the garlic up rapido because I am running quite late. But pro tip, if you got garlic, say you got garlic on a whole whatever cloves or whatever, put it in there in a like a jam jar or whatever, and just shake it like that, and You see, they come apart. Not only do they come apart, but what happens is that it makes it really easy to take the skin off. Look, you see how the skin's coming off? Look at that. I didn't learn that from Gordon Ramsay. I'll tell you where I learned it from. Look at that. Look how easy that is coming off. I learned it from where everybody learns things from. YouTube. If you're ever looking for anything, just go on YouTube and do a search. You'll find so many things there. So many answers to so many questions. God, this recipe is choking me up. But it's going to taste nice, I know. It's going to taste fantabulous. Quick garlic. We need some garlic. I guess you could do this with one of them garlic presses if you want, but as I am such a traditional and fantastic chef, I am gonna do it the normal method with a knife. Okay, so now I add the lemon juice. You could do what I do and get bottles of lemon. Just add, I think it's about, how much is it? One tablespoon of lemon juice, okay? So this is 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. That's what the recipe says. I will actually put the recipe in the link in the description, so you won't have to write it down. It will all be there. Now, after the lemon juice, there's a little bit of oregano to add in. Oh, by the way, if you wonder why I'm looking so stylish, it's because I just come back from work doing a load of heavy lifting and stuff, and I thought, well, I'm not gonna be wearing nice clean clothes doing heavy lifting. I'm gonna wear rough clothes. That's what I'm doing. And I got home, I felt knackered. So, knackered and hungry. So what should I do first? Get in the shower or cook? As I was hungry, the answer is cook, which I'm doing. So, pardon me. Everything now appears to be ready apart from the rice. And the rice, because I need to cover the pot and I haven't got a lid for my frying pan, what I'm going to do, I'm going to transfer all this into this pot with a lid, so, as so, I'm going to stick the rice on it with a cup of water. 3/4, I think it's 2/3 of a cup of rice to a cup of water, but you'll see it in the description anyway. Here we go. This is basmati rice, by the way. Everybody seems to be using basmati rice. I like using long grain rice. Well, I like long grain rice actually better than basmati rice. Okay. Now, stir and cover and bring to boil. So it's going to boil, maybe, how long does it take to boil? 5 minutes? Once it's boiled, I'm going to turn the heat down and let it simmer for 15 minutes without opening the lid. Leave the lid on. So, again, what time is it? Tea time, tea and biscuit time. So I'm gonna go off and I'm gonna get some nice biscuits. Well, I say nice biscuits. I guess they're not that bad, but they're supposedly healthier, multigrain. But I would prefer something like maybe a custard cream. I'm gonna have a cup of tea. Make myself a cup of tea while I'm waiting for the rice to come back on the boil. And I think I will have a sorrel, hibiscus and ginger tea. Because it's a small cup, I'm only going to eat the whole tea bag. If I use my big cup, which I normally use, which is this one, I normally put 2 tea bags in there because I like it like strong. But this one is just one. Get myself some grams of sugar. 1 teaspoonful. Put that in there. That gooey kind of cheese, that is kind of like stinky cheese. A little bit of that. Hasn't come to boil yet. But that's Roquefort, by the way. French smelly cheese. I love it. It's not yet boiling. When it starts to boil, I'm going to turn the heat down to the lowest heat for 15 minutes. But while I'm waiting for it to boil, I'm going to have my cup of tea. Okay, now it's starting to boil, so basically take down the heat to the lowest heat possible, and I'm going to simmer it for 15 minutes. So set my timer for 15 minutes. And then I'll be back in to have a look. In the meantime, I'm going out to have my cuppa. Okay, I'm back. So, 15 minutes is up and the rice is now cooked. So basically, I've just got to leave it for 5 minutes off the heat with the lid on, just to let the rice absorb. In the meantime, I'm going to make something to go with it. And what I'm going to make is carrots. Basically, the posh people call it Vichy carrots. So I'm just going to get 1 carrot, that's enough for me. Put a knob of butter in the pot. Get a spoon, because I'm going to put some sugar in it. Got my sugar. So I put the carrot in with the knob of butter. Put a teaspoon of sugar. I'm going to put a bit of salt and pepper. And I am going to put a bit of cold water in it. Just enough cold water to just about not quite cover the carrots. And I am going to bring it to boil on the highest temperature. Once it's boiled, I'm going to let it continue to boil until all the water is evaporating. And once that's done, it's ready. This should probably take about 5 minutes. So you've got your water, you've got your carrots, you've got your sugar, you've got your butter, a little bit of butter, and what else did I put in? I put in some pepper as well. So, carrot, another butter. If you don't want to use butter, you can use like a flavoured spread if you're kind of health conscious. As you can see, I use butter. 1 tablespoon full of sugar. You don't have to put sugar in if you don't want, you can leave that out. and a pinch of salt and pepper. So basically I'm just going to let that boil, and I'm going to leave it to boil until all the water is basically dried out, and then that'll be ready. Oh, that looks delicious. I'll show you when I've finished anyway. So 5 minutes, I'll be back. Okay, that seems to be done. So I'm going to take it up to heat and prepare my plate. Ooh. This recipe is all for under £1, and look at that. Look how much rice I've got left and tomatoes. That's enough for 3 meals. So here you have it. Chickpea and mushroom pilaf. Delicious.